Hi friends, now we shall discuss about the three-point starter. In this we are going to see about the construction, working as well as its drawbacks. So coming to the construction part, as actually what is the requirement of this three-point starter? Why we have to use this three-point starter? And that too at the starting condition itself, what's the requirement of it? Because the armature resistance RE is of very small value. So there will be a large current flow may happen during the starting of this motor. So in order to reduce that, we need this three-point starter, which may damage the system. That large current may damage the system. Hence, we have to focus on this three-point starter. During the starting condition, the back EMF may be zero, but it gradually develops when the motor is under a running condition. That means during the increase of its speed, the back EMF will be developed. So we have to compulsorily use this three-point starter during the starting of the motor. Coming to this construction part, construction wise the starter is a variable resistance integrated into number of sections. Integrated into number of sections as shown in figure beside. The contact points of these sections are called studs. The contact points are called studs. These are called as studs and are shown separately as of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and run. Other than that, there are three main parts referred to as L, line, these are the terminals L, line terminal connected to the positive of the supply, and F, which is connected to the field, and A, which is connected to the armature of the motor. Okay, we generally consider it as a LAF, and from there it gets the name three-point starter. Now, studying this construction of three-point starter in further, the point L is connected to an electromagnet called overload. The other point of L is connected to a overload. This coil is called as overload release coil. Okay, overload release. The other end of the OLR, nothing but overload release. The other end is connected to the lower end of the conducting lever of a starter. Lower end of the starter. Conducting lever of the starter. Handle where spring is also attached to it. This where the spring is also attached to it. And the starter handle also contains a soft iron piece housed on it. A soft iron piece, nothing but a triangular shape. Okay. This arrangement also you can observe. Another parallel path is derived from the stud 1 given to another electromagnet. From the stud 1, if you consider, okay, another electromagnet called no volt coil, which is further connected to the terminal F. This is further connected to the terminal F. If you consider the field coil, the other terminal of the field is connected to this no volt coil. Okay. The starting resistance at starting is entirely in series with the armature. The starting resistance, this entire resistance is in series with the, if you observe this diagram, see the entire starting resistance is connected in series with the motor, nothing but the armature. Now the OLR, nothing but overload release coil as well as no volt coil act as the two protecting devices of this starter. These two plays a very major role. As if you consider the working of this three-point starter, these two plays a major role. Overload release coil as well as no volt coil. So coming to this working of three-point starter, to start with the handle, in order to start with this handle, is in the off position. Initially, it will be in the off position when the supply to the DC motor is switched on. When the supply to the motor is switched on, then handle is slowly moved against the spring force to make contact with stud 1. Okay, in order to make contact with the stud 1, it will move with some force against the spring force. Okay, at this point, the field winding of the shunt or the compound motor gets a supply through the parallel path, providing to starting the resistance through no volt coil. Through no volt coil, the field path, the field winding of the shunt, or if you consider it as a compound motor also, it gets supplied through this parallel path, providing to starting the resistance through no volt coil. While entire starting resistance comes in series with the armature, the high starting armature current thus gets limited. This is what we require. During initial conditions, the armature resistance is of very low. Hence, a large current may travel through the motor and it may damage the conductors which are available in the armature. So, in order to avoid that, we are adding this entire resistance. This 5 studs resistance is connected in series with the armature, and in parallel, the field winding is also having some resistance with the no volt coil, and in such a way that the current will be travel through this field coil. When this all will happen, only once the supply is on. The DC supply is on, the stud will move against the spring force and it will try to contact the stud 1 position, and thereafter the entire resistance, the total resistance up to the run is connected in series with the armature, and through the no volt coil it is connected to the field, thereby the required magnetic field will be produced, the required excitation can be produced over here, and thereafter the remaining operation can be performed successfully without any serious hazards. As the handle is moved further, it goes on making contact with studs 2, 3, 4, etc., thus gradually cutting off the series resistance from the armature circuit as the motor gathers speed. When the speed of the motor is slightly increasing, we are going to cut off this resistance. Finally, when the starter handle is in run position, the entire starting resistance is eliminated. Okay, when the stud is at run position, if you observe here the run position, then the entire starting resistance is eliminated and the motor runs with normal speed. This is because the back EMF is developed consequently with speed to counter the supply voltage and reduce the armature current. So the external electrical resistance is not required anymore and is removed for optimum operation. Okay, there is no requirement of any external electrical resistance. This external electrical resistance is not required during its running condition. Only during the starting condition we require this. Since there will be no back EMF during the starting position in order to oppose that. Afterwards, the back EMF will be generated. Thereafter, the required normal current will be traveled through the circuit. The optimum operation can be obtained. The handle is moved manually from off to run position with the development of this speed. Now the obvious question is that once the handle is taken to the run position, how it is supposed to be stay there as long as the motor is running condition? Okay, have you got the point? The handle is taken to the run position and it has to stay there during the entire running process of this motor. But how the stud will remain in that position alone? So for that, we have to observe the no volt coil. The supply to the field winding is derived through this no volt coil. So when field current flows through the no volt coil, it is magnetized. The coil gets magnetized. Now when the handle is in the run position, a soft iron piece is contacted to the handle and gets attracted by the magnetic force. If you observe, this is the soft iron piece which is connected to the handle, and that is got attracted to this no volt coil since it gets electromagnetized. The no-volt coil is designed in such a way that it holds the handle in run position against the force of the spring as long as the supply is given to the motor. That means when the motor is in a on condition, as long as the DC supply is available, this soft iron piece is got attracted to this no volt coil. Since the current will travel through this no volt coil, hence it gets electrically magnetized. Thereby, this iron piece got attracts to this electromagnet. In such a way, it will remain in run position during the entire operation of this motor. Once the supply is off, this electromagnet gets demagnetized, and thereafter the stud goes back to its off position. That is the main function of this no volt coil. And the no volt coil holds the handle in the run position, and hence it is called as hold on coil also. Now, when there is any kind of supply failure, the current flow through no volt coil is affected and it immediately loses its magnetic property and is unable to keep the soft iron piece on the handle attracted. At this point, under the action of the spring force, the handle comes back to the off position, opening the circuit and thus switching off the motor. So, due to the combination of no volt coil and the spring, the starter handle always come back to the off position when there is any supply problem. That it also acts as a protective device safeguarding the motor from any kind of abnormality. But the main drawback of this 3-point starter, that is, the 3-point starter suffers from a serious drawback for motors with a large variation of speed by adjustment of the field rheostat. Okay, by adjustment of this field rheostat, that is which is connected in series with this field winding. By adjusting that, we can control the speed. So the large variation of this speed by adjusting this field rheostat will cause a major drawback, as since to increase the speed of the motor, field resistance can be increased. Therefore, current through the shunt field is reduced. Field current becomes very low. So the holding magnet may cause a problem, and thus the disconnecting the motor from the line. This is not desirable. Hence, we go for an A4 point starter is thus used instead of it. So, because of this drawback, we are going to choose a 4-point starter. Thank you.